Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, I am going to wade out into some very treacherous waters. This video is not about gun laws, but it's a very, very important video for the hometown crowd. Now, I recognize that the stuff that I typically talk about on this channel are predominantly those ideas that are shared by conservatives, all 38 of us that are left here in the state of Washington. But there are certain political issues that come across the spectrum where I believe that these aren't conservative or liberal issues, these are American issues. And one of those issues that I thought would have broad appeal across all ends of the political spectrum would be securing the safety of our children while undergoing public education. Well, as it turns out, Washington, if you're in the progressive left in this state, that is not an issue that you care about. As a matter of fact, that's an issue that you're actually going to be willing to fight against. Don't believe me? I'll show you exactly what just happened in the Washington State Legislature. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about, if this ain't your tipping point, Washington, I don't know what is. Okay, I recognize that this is not usually the type of material that we talk about here at Washington Gun Law, but I have a lot of viewers in Washington State. I think a lot of us share very common ideals, and I think you need to be abundantly aware, and I do mean abundantly aware, of what the state Democratic Party has done to the safety of your children just this past week down in Olympia. Now, let's go back in our time machine so you can understand what's going on. As you recall, last election cycle, we had multiple initiatives that had been proposed, predominantly from a group called Let's Go Washington, who had gone out and gathered up all the appropriate signatures. One of those initiatives was Initiative 2081, better known as the Parental Bill of Rights. This was a piece of legislation brought to the legislature by the people of Washington State to say, hey, you know what, this whole concept that our children belong to everybody, that society as a whole gets to raise our children, yeah, that's a bunch of hogwash. And as a matter of fact, the sole and exclusive jurisdiction for raising our children actually lies, shockingly, with the parents. And this is something that I thought a lot of other people could really, really get behind. Well, Initiative 2081 becomes law. Hallelujah, right? This is a good thing. We now have an expanded Parental Bill of Rights that will ensure the safety of our children moving forward in public education. But oh, no. You see, because once the legislature gets back into session, we end up with House Bill 1296. What is House Bill 1296? House Bill 1296 is a bill that is absolutely intended to gut Initiative 2081. That's right. The legislators got their shorts all in a knot, got all upset that the public had the audacity to express to the state legislature how they want our children educated and how we want safety secured for our children. And they decided, well, we're going to go out and gut the bill. Now, for anyone who wants to be critical of that statement and say, oh, well, they're not really trying to gut that bill, guess what? Read the bill summary. Here it is right here. Because in the bill summary, they talk about three different types of rights that were being addressed in this bill. The first was additional rights. That is, we're going to actually provide students and families with additional rights. I got no issue with that. But then we get to the next two parts, because the next two parts of the bill, and we'll link up the bill summary down below so you guys can geek out on this for yourself. You don't have to take our words. There is a section on modified rights. That's right. We're going to take the rights that were announced in Initiative 2081 and we're going to, modify them so they better fit our agenda. And then, as if that's not offensive enough, they actually have a section right there called repealed rights. These are rights that were passed through Initiative 2081 that House Bill 1296 intends on abolishing. So literally this law has been in place for less than a year, and the Democrats in Olympia are looking for ways to absolutely erode and eviscerate the will of the Washington voter. Now, as I began to look through the bill summary after Julie Barrett tipped me off on this, I found under the repealed rights two very alarming sections, and they read as follows. Examples of eliminated rights include the right to 1. Receive immediate notification if a criminal action is deemed to have been committed against their child or by their child. And 2. receive immediate notification if law enforcement personnel question their child, except in cases where the parent or legal guardian has been accused of abusing or neglecting the child. Now, I think that many of you who are parents could probably agree with me that if your child has been victimized by criminal activity at the school district or possibly engaged in criminal activity while on school property, as a responsible parent, you'd want to know about that, and you'd want to know about that right away. And of course, when it comes to our children being victimized while at school, the biggest perpetrator of that is pedophiles. That's right. As a matter of fact, this article from the Tacoma News Tribune says that in just the last few years, there has been $51 million paid out to sexual assault survivors in the state of Washington who were victimized by members of the faculty at the school in which they attended. And listen, when you break it down by school district, it gets a lot more alarming. Consider this. University Place School District has now paid out $15.625 million. The Puyallup School District has now paid out $14.9 million. The Sumner Bonnie Lake School District has paid out $7.85 million. The Tacoma School District has paid out nearly $6.2 million. And as you can see from the rest of the list of the top 10 perpetrators, yeah, there is some significant money being paid out in settlements. The Tacoma School District alone had 16 separate incidents in which children were victimized by a faculty member. And if that's not alarming enough, take a look at this chart right here from the same news article that talks about the exponential increase in these types of incidents being brought forward. And then, to make matters way, way worse, as if they actually could get worse, along comes another article which says that 71% of Washington State's 8th graders aren't proficient in math and 69% aren't proficient in reading. So this is the state of the Washington State educational system. Not only is it not effective at teaching children, it's not effective even at keeping children safe. Well, House Republicans, I think, probably gave the Democrats the benefit of the doubt and said, hey, listen, as we read this bill summary, it almost kind of seems like you guys would want to protect the pedophiles and make sure that parents are not learning when their children are being victimized by these sick individuals who are working amongst our kids. And so they then offered an amendment to the bill, a very simple amendment that would have read, school districts must immediately notify the parents or legal guardians of a student alleged to be the victim, target, or recipient of an allegation of sexual misconduct by a school employee. School districts shall provide parents and legal guardians with information regarding their rights under the Public Records Act, Chapter 4256 of the RCW, to request the public records regarding school employee discipline. This information shall be provided to all parents and legal guardians on an annual basis. Now, that seems like a pretty reasonable amendment to that bill, doesn't it? I mean, after all, as a parent, if your child was being victimized by some pervert who's working at the school district, wouldn't you want to know? Well, guess what, Washington? Yeah, that amendment was rejected. And it was rejected because every single Democrat, let me say that again, every single Democrat on the Education Committee voted against it. That amendment has failed. Who were these representatives who voted against it? Well, we're going to put a full list down below in the description box, but quickly, because I know many of you may actually be interested, they include the following: Steve Berquist, District 11, Lisa Callan, District 5, Ed Donahue, District 44, Lillian Ortiz Self, District 21, Jerry Paulette, District 46, Christine Reeves, District 30, Alicia Rule, District 42, Sharon Tamiko Santos, Sean Scott, District 43, Tan Sen, District 41, Clyde Shavers, District 10, and Monica Gerardo Stonier, District 49. And yeah, not only are we going to put every one of their names down below in the description box, we will also put their contact information so that you may contact them and tell them exactly how you think about this. Now, I warn all of you, I know this is a very blood-boiling issue, and you're going to want to contact these people, and you're going to want to use all kinds of colorful language and things like that. Don't do that, okay? Be polite, be respectful, be professional, be everything that they're not. Take the high road, but we need to tell these legislators exactly what we think, because these legislators have absolutely, positively, and unequivocally shown that they will much rather protect the pedophile than protect your children. And so, Washington, there is for all of us a certain pain threshold that we're willing to endure to remain in this state. And while many of the issues that we focus here at Washington Gun Law are those that are predominantly shared by those of conservative ideals, I have a hard time believing that the protection and sanctity of our children while engaged in public education is a conservative or liberal idea. It is an American idea. It is an idea that is based in humanity. In Washington State, we are morally bankrupt. We are broken beyond repair. When we actually have legislators who are willing to protect pedophiles more than they're willing to protect our children, we have to ask ourselves, have we completely gone over the moral bankrupt cliff? Listen, we're going to go ahead and link up everything we relied upon down below so that you can geek out on it for yourself. If you got any questions about this or anything else, you should know how to get a hold of Washington Gun Law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information's down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video we should be doing around here, you click on that link right there and you tell us all about it. If you want to subscribe to our monthly newsletter, the ability to do all of that is right down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, let's remember that part of being a lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.